Good morning, everyone. I hope you had or are having your favorite cup of coffee this morning. Welcome back to Chuckle Nuts 2 Garage, and this is day one of a staycation week that I'm taking, and you know what that means? That means some fun projects again that I have planned for the Mustang. Not as intense as the last one, where we were building the cabinet for the trunk, which took me a lot longer than I expected. And that's just a skill set that I don't have. So I was learning on the fly. And even though I did a little bit of research, until you get your hands on it, you never know how long it's going to take. But anyways, on deck for this week, and no, I'm not going to work my entire vacation week away. I do have other plans, a couple day trips that I'm going to take and kind of relax. But for the first couple days, there's a few things that I'd like to knock out on the car. The first one is a vacuum leak that's developed a while back, and I think it's been ongoing. It just took us a while to diagnose it because there's a lot of little things that seem to fix a stumbling problem, and it just, it kept coming and going with every little thing that we did. We kept getting led down that rabbit hole. So for the most part, it only stumbles once in a great while, but it's not timed right. The only way I can get it to run right is to have the vacuum port for the distributor on the always vacuum side of the manifold side of the carburetor, and that's just not. I can't get it timed right. It runs a little rich, so it's just not the way I want it to run. When we had it on the timed port, it was definitely running way better. I could lean it out, and but it just, for some reason, it doesn't want to run. Well, we did some diagnosis, and at the end of the day, even though I replaced the gaskets around the carburetor, I have a spacer, it still has a leak. You run that carburetor cleaner around there, and she revs up like she's ready to go down the quarter mile. So we're going to take the carb off the aluminum spacer that I have, and I have a phenolic spacer that we're going to put on. It'll help block the heat, and it will also hopefully fix the vacuum leak. However, while I have the carb off, I am going to inspect the base of the carb to make sure that that didn't get warped. I know that you can over tighten those very easily. I was trying to be very careful in the initial installation to tighten them down in a star pattern, in a cross pattern, and then just snug it. Well, I snugged it a couple more times, but again, trying to be very mindful about not just putting 450 pounds of torque on it. And anyways, it's still got a vacuum leak. And I suspect it's a spacer, personally. But we're going to check the base of the carburetor. We're also going to check the aluminum manifold just to be sure. I highly doubt it, but just to make sure. But we're going to put that spacer on there and see if we can get this thing timed right, running better, lean it out a little bit, and I don't have to smell like I've been crawling around at a drag strip every day when I drive it. So the exhaust on you, just get tired of it. I love exhaust, don't get me wrong, especially the 110 octane. If they made cologne out of that, I'd wear that. But sometimes you just don't want to go to dinner and then, you smell a little bit about exhaust. But anyways, and then secondly, one of the things I'd like to do is get the roof console put in this car finally. And I've been putting it off because I have to slice the headliner, put the bracket in, and so we can hang the console. I found that the dome light, I was going to originally use the single wire dome light extension and just use the map lights on the light switch, but decided, no, let's do it right. And I did order the harness for the roof console along with a neutral safety switch, which that also needs to go in because that's bad. And I don't know if we're going to get that done. I may end up putting the console in without the harness because everything that I put on npd.com and ordered on Friday morning is gone. It's not in my cart. It's not in my orders. I have a confirmation from PayPal that I paid for it, but it's not there. So I sent them an email this morning, told them to call me. I want to make sure the order goes through. It would be really nice to only have to do that one time. So neutral safety switch. Oh, and then one of the little things, it's just a housekeeping thing, but the wiring for the radio, even though I, put it in the inch compartment nicely, I didn't wrap it, I didn't route it and attach it into the rubber loops like I wanted to originally, because I guess at the end of the day I wasn't sure exactly how I was going to do that. Wanted to make sure the radio, that, you know, the Alpine that I put in and the speakers were working fine before I really went into that depth. So that's another thing, super simple. Just wrap it, make it look factory, you know, with electrical tape, and actually run it just slightly different than the way I've got it now. But to mimic the factory harness on the driver's side, this will just run opposite on the passenger side, and that'll just make it look cleaner and like it belongs there. So that's it. That's pretty much all I have for this week. Just a couple things. And oh, and I have a little bit of an oil leak coming from the pan gasket. It's got the Felpro blue rubber with the crush washers, apparently, you know, reusable, indestructible, never leaks. This is my car. That means it's gonna leak, it's gonna leak. So, but we were talking with some friends at Big Top Brewery, and Dan Slotke and I was talking. He had the same problem on his Trans Am, and he said what he found out is the RTV, or the lack thereof, on the pan bolts apparently was the cause of his leak. And mine's a slow leak. It's not leaking that much. Matter of fact, the level on the oil hadn't even changed. But it's in the pan. It's getting on the, or it's on the drip pan, and it's on the pan itself. That annoys the crap out of me. So we need to get, I don't like leaks. I don't like leaks. I don't care what they are on the engine. I want that engine pristine. My standards are high when it comes to that. I don't like leaks, and we need to fix that. So to calm my OCD down, I'd like to try to put some RTV on those bolts and redo them. So that's the other thing. That's it. Nothing real sexy. Just a few things that I'd like to knock out in the first couple days of my staycation. And then it would be nice to be able to take the car out and actually just do something with it, enjoy it, take it for a day trip. So anyways, I'm going to finish my coffee and then get changed in my garage clothes, and then I'm going to get started on this. You guys have a great day, and we'll catch up with you on the next video. Oh, welcome back. So, finished my cup of coffee, got changed, got ready for my little projects today. We're going to start off on the carburetor. I think that'll be, for today's project, that'll probably be the biggest one to knock out. So I'm going to work on getting this off, checking the base of the carburetor, base of the top of the intake manifold, and ultimately also check the aluminum spacer to just see if I can tell the difference. It's probably going to be so minute, I may not be able to figure it out. I don't have a micrometer or anything like that. But anywho, we'll put the phenolic on, get with the new gaskets, and hope that will cure the vacuum leak. If it does, then the next thing is to make sure we set the right vacuum on the gauge at the right RPM and time it, and hopefully get this running leaner on the timed port and not have a stumble or a rough idle. So yeah, let's get at it.